These are chemical concentration formulas, and they're largely used in laboratories when you have to dilute a certain substance. When you're working with a liquid, it'll typically be in liters, and when you're working with a mass of something, you'll be working with grams. When it comes to chemical concentration formulas, you'll be doing a lot of converting. So this conversion chart shows that 1 gram is equal to 1,000 milligrams, and 1 milligram is equal to 1,000 micrograms. And similar with mass, for volume, 1 liter is equal to 1,000 milliliters, and 1 milliliter is equal to 1,000 microliters. On the top half, we're working from big to smaller, as you can see, because we're working from grams to milligrams to micrograms. On the bottom, we're working from smallest to small to big, because we're starting with micrograms and ending with grams. Here we can see an example. It says to calculate the volume in liters of a 68 milligram per milliliter ampicillin stock required to make a 505 milliliter solution that has a final concentration of 12 milligrams per milliliter. This diagram shows us exactly what we're doing. We're taking a highly concentrated part of ampicillin and diluting it so that it's equal to 12 milligrams per milliliter of concentration. Our formula to solve this is C1V1 is equal to C2V2. So what we do is we take our first concentration, which is 68 milligrams per milliliter, and we multiply that by volume 1. Then we put on the other side of the equal sign the second concentration, which is the 12 milligrams per milliliter. Then we multiply that by the 505 milliliters because that's how much volume was in the second concentration. The next thing we would do is multiply the 12 milligrams per milliliter times the 505 milliliters because for every 1 milliliter we have 12 milligrams. So after we do that, we get 6,060 milligrams. So now we have to work with the other side of the equation, and we're trying to get the V1 alone. So what we should do is divide both sides by 68 so that we can get the V1 by itself. Since we're dividing by 68, the 68 milligrams per milliliter would cancel out, leaving V alone. Next, we have to divide 6,060 milligrams by 68, which would give us 89.1 milliliters. But since we need to get this into liters instead of milliliters, we have to use the formula table that we used before, which shows that we have to divide it by 1,000 to get the liters. Now we know the final concentration of this stock solution, which would be 0.089 liters.